Alam nyo guys, this is one of my greatest frustrations, to learn how to play the piano. Hindi lang piano, pero kung ano man musical instrument. Pero hindi ako marunong eh. I tried to take lessons, pero sabi ng mga teachers ko, naku, wala kang pag-asa dahil wala kang coordination. So, nawalan ako ng pag-asa. Pero alam niyo, hindi yan ang tamang attitude. The right attitude is, kung sabihin nila walang pag-asa, prove them wrong. Learn and be excellent. And that is what we're going to learn in this afternoon's episode, is what makes a good educator and what it takes to be a good student. This is a very important interview for me, so watch this right here on Spotlight.
I'm Reggie Tongol, a lawyer by profession, TV host by advocacy.
I'm William Theo. I am a journalist,
A commercial model, and also a realtor.
join me and meet the mighty shakers and movers of society.
And be inspired by their amazing journey through life here on Spotlight.
Nagmula sa kilalang pamilya si Pia Consuelo Antonina Roces Morato. Anak siya ni Tomas Morato Jr. at ni Maria Rosario Roces Morato. Siya ay apo ng kauna-unahang mayor ng Quezon City at isang mahalagang figura sa kasaysayan ng Pilipinas na si Tomas Morato.
My parents and my uncles or my aunts never made us believe we were important.
Right.
It was always about doing your best. Right and wrong, right? You have to know the difference between right and wrong. You have no sense of entitlement because nothing belongs to you.
That's true.
Right? So we grew up that way. And you know, when people say, oh, you know, she's the granddaughter of like that, sometimes it still strikes me because in my family, we weren't treated that way. We were treated as you have a curfew, you have to study,
you
have rules.
You think that that training with your parents, growing up in your family, it helped you be a good educator also?
I love that my family was also very open-minded in the sense that I remember when I was dancing, because I was 15 years in ballet company. And I remember as a young child how I used to love riding the jeep from here to my school. And it was dalawang sakay. You know, for me, my parents made it fun. So I looked forward to it. And I value it because I can take public transportation, no problem.
Nagtapos si Pia ng Bachelor of Science in Humanities sa University of Asia and the Pacific. Pero ang pagsimula ng karir niya, ang pagiging English and Spanish teacher sa Linden Tree Institute, isang exclusive school sa Maynila kung saan siya ay na-appoint na maging Vice President.
I didn't think that I'd ever become a teacher, for one. Because I was really more inclined into the arts. I was a dancer, I was a singer. Those were my interests in school. And I thought that one day that would be my career.
Yes.
But I had this one skill with me, which was I spoke Spanish. And that's because my family also spoke Spanish. Although I still had much to learn in theory maybe, and you know, there are different levels, so I had to do that as well. But at the end of the day, I ended up being a teacher. So I started out in my profession as a Spanish teacher. I always tell my teachers that you want to catch the attention of your students, you have to be artista. So in a way,
It helped.
it helped me because I had better response with my students, you know. They were free to welcome me with a song it broke the ice in every class, or they were free to start attempt speaking in another language, and you know, it really helped them become themselves and also push themselves forward. Because I was so young. I was 20, 21, 22. I was teaching high school students, so they could, you know, somewhat they could like, you know, relate with me. And when I tell them, hey, you're naughty, I was like that. I used to do those things too. And I was quite naughty in school.
With this mindset, because ako, I believe, from the time that you're young, yung outlook and mindset is very important to how you're going to develop. Do you also value this with the kids that you teach, or can you see this in a young child?
Oh yes.
I see.
And that's very, very basic. It's the core.
Right.
You've got to really get into that with every child, because if you don't, you skip a process.
I understand now, we were talking off cam a while ago, that you're into education, kids from 0 to 6, right? What do you call that?
That's early childhood education.
Childhood, okay.
Because from the Department of Education, I was really hired to be specifically focused on the foreign languages. And of course, when you're there, you realize, wow, there's so many things that is, you know, important in education, so many aspects, right? And I kind of ventured off first from the Department of Education to the Office of the President for Early Childhood Education. And then things started to become clearer for me and, you know, wider for me, wherein I eventually got into the K-12.
Naging consultant siya ng Early Childhood Care and Development Council sa Office of the President at ngayon ay consultant sa House of Representatives at Senate of the Philippines at liaison officer sa pagitan ng Spain at Philippines.
I am a proponent of the K-12, and how can I not be when all I want, and as from an educator standpoint, is for every learner to be the best.
Right, right.
You know, if you can avail of every opportunity that
best.
will enrich you, why not?
Yes.
We deserve that. Education's for everybody.
When we return,
I'm so proud of them. And I can honestly say, they're smarter than me. My eldest son speaks fluent Korean. Not Spanish, but he speaks Korean.
How do you deal with challenges?
I love your question because it entails a lot of mindset change and learning how to see different perspectives. When I had the chance to go to business school, I was taught on my very first day that the Chinese see a crisis as both danger and opportunity. And I was like, I never knew that, right? And I said, from now on, every time something frustrating happens, I'm not going to stop at seeing this as an obstacle, but try to morph it into an opportunity. It's practice, which, you know, you try to develop that every day, but that's how, so far, I am able to overcome my challenges, my obstacles, reminding myself that, okay, instead of reacting, maybe I can respond. How could I have done this better? Because when you check, you realize that that was your opportunity, because you develop further personally, and maybe in the circumstance you find out that, oh, this was, you know, the place or the person who was actually the one able to help me, right? So I learned that, and I'm still learning that, but at least in my mind, that's what I try to do.
At the age of 39, she is a mother of 2 boys. Her eldest son is now 18 years old and her youngest is 15.
I'm so proud of them. And I can honestly say They're smarter than me. And that's what I really, really hope for. You know, every teacher, every parent just wants their children to be better than them. At least that's my theory.
That's true.
So
Yes.
even when my students say, you know, Teacher P, I'm a doctor now. I'm like, wow, diba? What an accomplishment. My eldest son speaks fluent Korean. Not Spanish, but he speaks Korean. That was what he found interested him. And, you know, I felt I've done my part when I say, you know, choose a foreign language. My younger one is the one trying to develop his Spanish skills. You know, and I see that, wow, they're learning so much faster with less effort.
Than what you were dealing with
In
our time.
In our time,
yes.
right? Because so many things are available for them.
Right, yes.
Right? So it's easier. I just practice what my parents taught me. Everything in moderation. You have to know when it's good for you and when it's not working for you. So be open to your children and say, be responsible, right? Technology is there, right? I don't want to fill my children or my students or even the teachers that I'm really doing my best to empower with fears. Except equip them with knowledge. Like, okay, how do we use technology to our benefit? And at the same time, how do we express to our children the limitations, the boundaries that are necessary? You know, with them not feeling restricted, but feeling responsible.
Right.
Because it's part of everyday life.
Si Pia ay may malaking pagpapahalaga sa edukasyon. Ngayon na siya ay host ng Education Radio ng DZRJ na tumatalakay sa education issues sa Pilipinas.
Life also teaches you
That's
because
true.
we're not perfect.
Totoo.
So you learn parang, oh, okay, medyo here, I have to, you know, change my style. You know, but that is because you have an open mind. If you have an open mind, then, you know, you can tweak things, learn, because lifelong learning is just the best attitude to have.